Hi, I'm Richard. We're at the Open Air Blues Festival in Brezoi. With me is British blues guitarist Joanne Shaw Taylor. You've said that deadlines and mild panic fuel your writing. You have 10 seconds to tell me why.
Because I have terrible ADD, so unless I am forced to focus, I'm unable to focus. So that goes for everything in my life. So, same for my career.
When did you move stateside, and did you have a culture shock when you got there?
Not too much of a culture shock. I moved there when I was 20. I started going there for a lot when I was 18, and I finally moved when I was 22. No, it was pretty easy. I mean, I think England has a lot more in common with America than it does probably mainland Europe, culturally. So it was if you're going to move to a foreign country as a kid, it was a pretty easy move.
During your ear infection and isolated recording sessions, did forced downtime change your relationship to sound, silence, and experimentation?
No, I would love to say yes, but unfortunately nothing that interesting. I got a double ear infection, one of which was on the inner ear canal, so I couldn't travel or fly for 6 weeks. What it did do is it has drastically affected my balance ever since. I can't walk upstairs, I can't walk downstairs very well. So,
but you've gotten over that.
No, I still can't. Like today, we were in a hotel,
okay.
and it's it's like vertigo issues. But no, the
How long has it been?
Was cool. That was 2012, I think. So 13 years.
I'm sorry.
Everything happens in life, and getting a couple of ear infections and weird balance isn't the worst thing.
You built your own label to avoid being packaged. What do you feel the industry misunderstands about artists running their own path?
I'm not sure that the industry misunderstands anything about artists running their own path. I think it's more that the industry is built around a production line, and a lot of artists don't fit into that production line. There are a lot of genres that don't fit into that. For example, I started in the blues, and that's very much a live genre. And even the biggest selling blues artists don't sell that many albums compared to what is considered a success in the major label
commercial
industry.
Music.
Yeah. They do over the bulk of time. If you Junior Wells and your career spanned decades. So I think that's the biggest problem with labels, and why a lot of people in more grassroots genres tend to be better off going independent. Personally, for me, it was more to do with just independence, being able to control my own schedule and my own life, and so that's had a lot to do with it as well.
You created the blues album with deep cuts from Albert King, Peter Green, Aretha Franklin. What drove you to go beyond the obvious covers?
Well, it had always been a passion project of mine to want to do a blues covers album. And obviously my choice of producer, Mr. Bonamassa, we're dear friends, and we both agreed from the get-go that we weren't going to do the obvious. It wasn't going to be Mustang Sally and Sweet Home Chicago and Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, And that is the art, I think, to picking covers, is picking a cover that you can make your own, because if not, leave it alone. If it's not going to be I don't say as good as the original, different to the original.
You have to be able to put your thumbprint on it.
Exactly, else just leave it alone. So that's what we went after, and that's what I hope we found.
What does black and gold mean to you?
Well, the main thing it means is one of my favourite songs that I always wanted to cover, which is actually a pop song from the early 2000s, and I love the lyric. It was at a time where I was suffering some grief and loss, and for me, the lyrics are about someone who was passed on, has died. And,
black?
Yeah, and in the night sky, black and gold.
Gold.
In terms of this album, I think it's not only that cover, but it also represents sort of the dark and the light, which is what I, as a blues artist that likes writing pop songs, it's, kind of a bit of a juxtaposition, which I like, is black and gold, So that's what it means to me.
And from what I've read online, you intentionally avoid recording with your touring band in the studio. Why do you separate creative space from the performance space?
A couple of reasons. One, I think, is it's nice, not just for me, but also for my band to be able to go away and do different projects that they want to do creatively. Mm-hmm. We tour a lot, so we don't get that much time off. And it's also nice for me creatively to be able to go into a studio environment and I take in basic songs. I usually write them on acoustic guitar and put the vocal down and then hand them to, well-trusted session players. I'm very fortunate we get the caliber of musicians that I work with, Anton Fig, Alison Presswood, etc. And they're trained to listen to the song and what does the song need? What do I need to do to make this song the best it could be? I'm not saying that my live band would do that, but they're very used to what does Joanne want, or there's a little less sort of, routine, I suppose, there. Comfort, I suppose, as well. So it's nice to have those two things. I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever use them in the studio, because I'm sure I will.
Is this your first time in Romania?
Second time. Did a festival here in, I think, about 10 years ago. So, been beautiful to return. Nice country, nice people, good people.
What's the vibe you got in Brezoi?
Very warm. In terms of walking around and being with people, very warm. In terms of the gig, very appreciative, I think, of music. Good fun. Like a little bit crazy, in a good way, in the best way. I was walking around earlier and met a few people, which was good fun. But yeah, just a beautiful place, good people.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, love.
Good luck with the music.
Thank you very much.
I hope to see you back next year.
Me too.
And we're waiting for you to come on down to the Open Air Blues Festival in Brezoi.